I'm M, the person with a very loud inner mind that struggles through the events of the play.
I'm T, I'm his therapist, but I'm not exactly a real therapist. I kind of play one on TV, kind of, or in his mind.
Yeah, we're an interesting pair of characters.
I love F1. My character, aptly named F1, is a bit much.
She's a very independent, strong woman. She has fun. And she's fine with being by herself. But at the same time, she's curious what could possibly happen.
My character is the one that shows him there are different kind of women in the world.
It's become, especially in the last drafts, a really exciting play that I think has quite a lot to say.
I think the therapist is there. I'm a place for him to unload theoretically without judgment, without interruption from his other thoughts. And I'm trying to help, but I'm just missing the mark by a lot. I think I'm being really understanding, but I also don't really take his thoughts seriously.
Where is any of us? He's lost in between. He's lost being in the place between what he was and what he eventually thinks he might become, or what he thinks he should become. Yeah, it's that space between your dreams, your ambitions, the expectations that are set for you.
It's like a person who thinks he's standing in front of a tsunami and trying to stop it. And he can't, obviously. But he feels like he feels like it's his job to stop this tsunami.
I think M is a fella who seems to have everything under wraps, under control on the outside. But we get to have a little bit of a insight of his, private life,
M is trying to be understood.
Just, there is one way to go to, and that's frustration. And that's one of the worst feelings out there, because you can't really blame anybody or anything for it but yourself.
A generation, essentially. Our generation, really. But specifically, it's the generation that is just trying to figure out how to live and is having a hard time about it. And it's just trying to make life mean something.
Yeah, and it's I don't think it's necessarily limited to like people who are our age, or I think it's a very universal sort of feeling.
I think the play is not trying to say something. It's just trying to make us, as an audience or as people working in it, question what it is we do. Why do we do the things we do? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that means that every audience member that comes to see it will find a different scene or theme or character that they're like, oh, that's the one that I relate to. So they'll get a different message than the person sitting next to them, but that's sort of the point.
Look, it's a relevant play. There's a line that we're gonna use in our explanation of this play. It's the highly educated people with nothing to do. And that always gets to me, and I think that's what the main character is facing on a daily basis, and that's why he encounters himself in these situations where you would see him there every day, but simply because of his scattered mind. he has trouble with them.
People that are just not satisfied with life, with where they are right now, and they just, their mind goes crazy. Everything just goes.
It's about how to cope with loneliness, with being alone, whether sometimes you are creating this only in your head, no, it's actually true.
Living in the reality.
Yeah.
And seeing what actually is happening here and now. He really needs to try to figure out what is going on in his head and understand that things that trouble him sometimes are not the things that are the most important.
I think it does really well what it sort of set out to do, which is convey this really specific emotion of being so full of energy and of desire to do something and affect change and matter, and not knowing how to do that or what to do.